up and to read Bobby Sam's Rhythm of Time. And it's very fitting that that's going to happen this evening. It's an important year in terms of the 35th anniversary of the 1981 hunger strikes. And it's not just about remembering it or remembering individuals or what happened at that time, but to remember what they were about, what Republicans are about, and the type of country that we want to see and to see delivered. So that's why I think it's appropriate and important to read that tonight. Jamie, if you could come up.
Rhythm of Time, Bobby Sands. There's an inner thing in every man. Do you know this thing, my friend? It has withstood the blows of 1,000,000 years, and it will do so until the end. It was born when time did not exist, and it grew up out of life. It cut down evil's strangling vines like a slashing shearing knife. It lit fires when fires were not, and it burned the mind of man, tempering leadened hearts to steel from the time that time began. It wept by the waters of Babylon, and when on men were the loss, it screeched in written agony, and it hung bleeding from the cross. It died in Rome by line and sword, and in defiant cruel array, when the deadly word was Spartacus along the Appian Way. It marched with what the toilers poured, and it frightened lord and king. It was emblazoned in their deadly stare, as e'er a living thing. It smiled in holy innocence before conquestors of old, so meek and tame and unaware of the deadly power of gold. It burst forth through pitiful Paris streets, and it stormed the old Bastille. It marched upon that serpent's head, and it crushed it into its heel. It died in blood on buffalo plains, and starved by moons of rain. Its heart was buried at wounded knee, but it will come to rise again. It screamed aloud by Kerry's lakes as it was knelt upon the ground, and it died in great defiance as they coldly shot it down. It is found in every light of hope. It knows no bounds nor space. It is risen in red and black and white. It is dared in every race. It lies in the hearts of heroes dead. It screams in tyrants' eyes. It has reached the peaks of mountains high, and it comes searing across the skies. It lights the dark of this prison cell. It thunders forth its might. It is the undauntable thought, my friend, that thought that says, I will.
Speaker of the evening, Pierce Doherty. Pierce is the Sinn Fein finance spokesperson, and with that I suppose a huge responsibility. It's one of the tasks the gentleman pointed out at that we have to convince, I suppose, the majority of people in this state that we're a party that can go into government, that would run the government, that would grow the economy, that would have a fairer society, that would deliver the type of public service that we want. And a lot of this comes down on the shoulder of Pierce and the team around him in developing the type of credible politics. Pierce, I suppose, 2010, Pierce stood in the by-election in Donegal after forcing the government, he had to go to court to force them to call that by-election. They knew if they called it that Pierce in all likelihood was going to get elected, and he got a huge result in that by-election. Pierce came into the Dáil, he was there, I think 3 or 4 days. Myself and Arthur Morgan sat down with him and said, Pierce, we think you should do the budget speech this year. And he looked at us kind of going, right, this is it, where you're responding to the government on your feet. He went in and probably gave the speech of a lifetime, setting out not just what was happening, the anger about the austerity that was devastating communities, but talking about the type of solutions that were required and offering hope to people as well. And what was an absolutely fantastic speech. And since then, year after year after year, we've set out a credible costed alternative when nobody else has done it, and we'll do that in the election as well. So I'd ask you to give it up for Pierce Doherty.
John, agus gur maiid go bhain fáil sin ehas móra bhain John don líide bhain an seolú an factus go Shane in seo agus mon factus bhain sihan a lachú in seo san dead cancer shop. Delighted to be here. It's absolutely fantastic. We've done a number of these launches across the state, and it's great to see that no matter what room we're going into, it's never big enough to hold the amount of Republicans that want to turn out and support our candidate. in terms of trying to get elected in the constituency or hold the seat that they've already won in previous elections. And it lifts your heart when you see so many people that are bound by a common cause, and that is a fair and just society. I was listening to the poem that was read out, the poem from Bobby Sands, and it's a poem that's kind of very special to my heart and special to a lot of Republicans' heart. But I can remember as a young boy reading that poem for the first time, and just that final line, that undauntable thought, my friend, the thought that says I'm right. And I was just reflecting when I was listening to it being read out again of a time before I was elected representative. I was asked by the party, probably Don, who puts me in these difficult spots, to go and debate the European Constitution. The forum in Europe was travelling around the country, and we were asked to go and debate this on behalf of Sinn Fein with other representatives from different political parties. And the Constitution was only published the night before, so I was sitting up in my laptop that night reading the European Constitution, which is very difficult to read because it's not basically written in simple English. Anyway, I got halfway through it and I asked my partner at the time, Roisin, to drive me down to Sligo because I had to have the laptop on my leg and I was reading the rest of it on the way down to Sligo. And we got outside the venue and I told her, I says, just carry on. I says, I'm not going in. And she says, why aren't you going in? And I goes, how can I go in and debate this European Constitution with Martin Manzer, who was the Fianna Fáil representative who advised 3 former Taoiseachs, and the other person was in the panel was representing for the Gael, and he was an MEP, and he was an MEP elected for the first time the same year I was born. And I says, I simply can't go in, like, who am I to go in and argue the European constitutions with these people? You know, I'm just after reading it. And she turned around to me and she says, well, who's right? And I says, automatically, I says, I'm right, we're right. She says, go in and tell them. And we went in and we won the debate that day with the crowd that was there. And the point in that and what Bobby Sands is saying is something that we need to continue to remind ourselves time and time again when we face challenges like the challenge we face in this constituency to make a historic breakthrough in terms of electing Shane to Leinster House and that bigger team of TDs that want to lead the next government, is that we are right and we have to bring that message to the doorstep. Not enough people have heard it yet. We haven't articulated it in the right way. We haven't got through, we haven't chipped through all of the negative media that has been built up over years and years and people have been conditioned to. But bit by bit, we're starting to chip away. Bit by bit, every single day, we're getting more support, we're republicanising our communities, we're bringing more people with us. And our message is a right one. Our message is a fair one. Our message is one that more and more people are susceptible to. And we can see that in terms of the result in the last local elections with Shane getting elected in this constituency. So that's the point I want to just remind people of. The point is that we have the solutions. Don talked about knowing the problems in Irish society, knowing the problems in this constituency, knowing the problems right across the state, and that's okay. And we need to articulate those and vocalise those and remind people that there are problems, but we also need the solutions. We need the solutions to bring the type of fairness, the type of respect that people are looking for in their society, whether it's our elderly people lying on hospital trolleys, whether it's our young people and young mothers that are languishing on social housing waiting lists, whether it's grandparents who've lost their grandchildren to immigration. We need to not only articulate their problems, their fears, but also address their hopes and desires. And this is the year, as Dawn said, the year of the centenary, a year that offers huge hope, huge opportunity for Republicans. It's the year where we can end the two-party rule, the two parties that created the inequality that Irish society now see every day. It's the year that we can end that type of domination, a domination that failed to deliver on the promises of the Republic that were put in 100 years ago. It is also the year that we can have a Sinn Fein-led government, a Sinn Fein-led government that will bring progressive policies to the heart of government, that will deliver a fair recovery, that will build a fair recovery, that will invest in public services, and that will progress the cause for Irish unity. And across this state, we know what the problems are. We know what Fine Gael and Labour have done to Irish society. We know what Fianna Fáil have done before them. And it's not just in my constituency in Donegal or in Cork, but it's here to be seen every single day in every part of our communities right here in this constituency. We know, for example, the pressures that families are under in terms of childcare. This constituency has one of the highest costs